toddy, gosh almighty, who the heck are they? Hey, flim, flam, bim, bam, Ole Miss. By golly, and welcome to Vaught Hemingway Stadium where the Rebels are ready to take the field. Little gets the blood boiling, quite like a rivalry game. Barbs, shots, trash talk, things that go on throughout the week will now all be settled on this field. As we'll see the number 5 team in the country, the LSU Tigers, taking on the 13th ranked team in the land, the Ole Miss Rebels. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. LSU will put a foot to it for the opening kickoff. He'll bring it out. It's Winston. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. So Ole Miss return team will have that offense backed up. There are always butterflies to start a game, but when you have a rivalry like this, the adrenaline is pumping on overdrive, guys.
They aren't all the same. We say that, but we know differently. The blood is boiling. The temperature is hot. Jesse, you want this week more than most.
Yeah, David, we played in these games before. Everything just seems to be heightened, right? The game seems to be moving faster. The crowd noise feels louder. Your composure will be tested early in a game like this.
You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
Good job running tough and behind his pads as he gets up to the 38-yard line. The Rebels want to move quickly. Off the play fake. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
Man, you can't draw it up any better than that. First possession, force a third down. You want to shut the home crowd up, sack the quarterback, create some momentum. Now you're getting the football back to your offense, probably with great field position.
Makes a move. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the O. The Tigers offense will have its first possession of the game. One thing to watch, can this guy get in the quarterback's head and make him take a peek at the rush, David?
Dang, Skippy, that's what you want to do. You want to make this guy a little bit more human and not as much of a game breaker at the quarterback spot. Get some pressure on him, hit him a few times.
He's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, but he can't hurt you if he's laying on his back. And this defensive end can put him there often.
And that was a nice throw by the QB. When you see that drag route coming across the field, how about putting the ball right on his numbers? Not high, not low, where he has to stop his momentum. Right on the numbers where he can catch it, keep running, and chew up some yards after the catch.
This crowd, full throat, spreading the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs.
And I love right out of the gate, this offense is going to be creative, and they're going to try to get their best players the football out in the open field. You saw it right there.
LSU with the 1st and 10 here. Just a short pass to the tight end. They make the stop right there. Good pickup, and still short of the first down. A little bit more to go after that last completion. They'll try to pick it up on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. He slings it deep to the left. Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away. The emotions and energy figure to be high all day, guys, because of what's at stake this late in the season. Really a must-win for both teams.
Yeah, these are the ones that get your blood moving, Reese. You get jacked up, man. You don't have to say anything in the locker room, give these big speeches. You know what's at stake, Jesse. You're ready to rock and roll. This is when you prove you're the big dog.
Which is pretty cool, too, because it's been a long season. And these teams obviously are both physically and mentally tired. But you're right. For this kind of game, This is the one you circled at the start of the year. You knew that this was going to matter. There was going to be a lot on the line. Now it's time to go out and prove you're the better team.
It is getting loud as this crowd tries to help its defense. The give to the tailback. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front. The noise level is relentless here on second down. Keep it on the ground. Not a lot there. Picks up one inside the 20 to the 19.
As a quarterback, you've got to know in this area of the field, it's tough to throw, right? The windows, they open and close so quickly when you get down to the red zone. What helps you is running the football, but that's tough today because you're going up against one of the top 25 defenses stopping the run.
Quick pass on the jet motion. He was running through tackles and picked up the first down and finally got knocked down.
And this guy's going to have to come through for you in this game. He picks up another first down, but he's your Heisman contender. He's the best player on your football team, and he's a guy that's just going to...
And you race it to the house. Touchdown, LSU! They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game?
Yeah, and I feel like momentum's always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
And the extra point makes it 7-0. So that's a 59-yard touchdown drive. And he got into the house from the 6 to finish it. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Fielded in the end zone, it's Winston. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And, David, they're just going to have to do a better job this time around erasing the mental mistakes.
And just trying to solve the defensive riddle, understanding what they're trying to do to you and attack them.
Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. Quick completion on the out route. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
Yeah, when you get that man coverage, most people are taught to have inside leverage. So that out route's there if your QB can put some air on it and throw it outside of the guy. But tight coverage, but a really nice throw on that out route.
Last play was a near disaster, now dealing with 2nd and 13. Get him on the ground after a 4-yard run out to the 31. And the Rebels in the hurry-up. Motion by the back forces the defense to adjust. With the catch, it's Harbor. That'll get the job done and move the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 45. The Rebels have their offense in high gear.
Hard work pays off, guys. These offenses work so hard week in and week out, working on those critical down distances, third downs, and having that conversion this early in the game, that's got to feel good for this offense.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. Give to the back. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. And the quarterback couldn't withstand the heat, and he will go down as we've played 1 quarter. Guys, LSU has the lead here. And we've come to the end of the first as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the second. And the Rebels will send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. They'll get him down at the 21-yard line. The coverage team able to stop him right there. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. And David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
They'll snap this one from the 32. It's first down.
He's showing you his skills on that last throw. This guy's got arm talent and accuracy, man, and some of it's not coachable. And I think back to Jamarcus Russell and Joe Burrow, two former Tiger quarterbacks that were the first overall pick in the NFL draft. They had some of that, too. They just had a feel for the position that you simply couldn't coach at the college level. This guy, man, he's got some serious tools, and he really helps make this offense dangerous.
Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on third down. The quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. Past the 45. All kinds of running room. And finally out of bounds after an explosive run by this ball carrier.
I love this type of play because it looks like a jet sweep. The defense, they're a bit confused pre-snap. They don't know who has the ball, and all of a sudden, that guy with his speed is in the second level of the defense before the defense even...
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Tigers!
And the running back gets his second rushing touchdown of the game. You want to continue to feed this guy. You can tell he's got a nose for the end zone, knows how to get in there, knows how to make things happen.
And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Fellas, I think at least a portion of your audience will have an interest in the one that just finished up. Mississippi State delivered the knockout blow early in this one, en route to the type of win that can turn some heads there in the SEC. Trust me when I say the party is on in Stark Vegas. A lot to go through in the film session this week for both teams. But, boy, it sure is going to be easier for the side that came away with the win.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Dropping back, it's Maddox. He makes the connection. And they pick up just a few on that completion. The Rebels moving quickly to the line. Using the quick game. At the 45 on his way. Just gashing this defense. A big gainer to the 40-yard line. Not the most productive half for this offense so far, but finally starting to get it in gear. First and 10. The RPO, fire complete to the left. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
For a wide receiver screen to work, you've got to have better blocking out in front by other receivers, and they're just not physical enough at the point on that last play.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. A third and long coming up here. The corners are walked up tight. On third and long, he has to throw for it. Got him downfield. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Rebels! It's a much-needed life for this offense as they try to cut away at this lead.
No doubt. Needed something to go right. If you're down, you got to make plays. You got to get your team back in it. Great start. Keep chipping away.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. From inside the 10, here he comes. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of bounce, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing, Pollock.
Yeah, and you got me searching for answers after that last drive. You stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
We've reached the 2-minute warning, and we'll see if the offense can build on this lead before the break. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 34. He wants to throw. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on. Now 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. Grabbed over the middle. It's Green. And he might be known for run fits, but that was a sure and heavy tackle on the tight end. They're going to try to throw for it on 3rd down. Fires to the big fella. And boy, is he close to that 1st down, maybe just a couple of inches short. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the 1st half. They're in their own territory, but they are undeterred. 4th and inches, and they'll go for it. Try to get it on the ground. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on 4th down? 1st down here for the offense. Defense showing plenty of pre-snap movement of their own. Looking to move it through the air. Fires to the wideout. Off the deflection, missed a great chance to force the turnover. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Scanning the field, it's Maddox. And there was nowhere to go for this quarterback, and down he goes. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. And the Rebels decide to punt it away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Hauls it in, looking for space. Really explosive when he gets his hands on the ball, and he found a couple of crevices and made a nice game before being run out of bounds. They'll get things started on this drive from the 24. Quick touch pass to the receiver. He's out past the 35. And he's brought down at the 40-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down. LSU right back to the line. Touch pass on the jet sweep. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain.
All right, so not a home run play for the offense, but I do like the creativity, and I like how they're going to stress this defense and do it in less conventional ways.
He's going to pass on 2nd down. Moving out of the pocket. Fires on the move. Makes a connection. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a 1st down. And the Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to go up top on 1st down. Throws for the tight end. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. On 2nd down, wants to throw it. Wide open downfield. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays.
Timeout, LSU.
So now with 1st and goal, let's see what LSU does here. They'll try to get it in with the run. That should be the final play of the 1st half. That's going to wrap up the 1st half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Fellas, what an environment there today. All the animosity and flat-out hatred that comes with a good old-fashioned rivalry game on display in that 1st half. And it's been said football is a game of inches, and guess what? Based on the comparison between 3rd down conversion rate today and the average yard per play, how can you argue that? I mean, the low-lying fruit is to look at some of the explosive plays we've seen in panic. but really this game is going to come down to which team is more efficient when they have the ball and how they play when it matters most.
The Rebels will kick it away to start the second half. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. They got plenty done through the air in the first half, and we'll see if they even need to look for balance as we start the third quarter.
Well, and I think defensively you understand, like the running game isn't a big part of the plan. I wonder how they adjust and play more coverage to this pass-happy offense.
Yeah, so you're going to have to be ready if you're a quarterback, then. You're probably going to see some different coverages. You might see a little bit more blitz in the second half as well, so you have to know where your answers are.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise. Backing this defense on third down. They'll try to run for it. Breaks a tackle, and he's got room. And they don't drag him down until he gets all the way to the 46-yard line. LSU quick to the line.
And that is such great execution by this offense. Third down and 2. They know you're running the football, but they were physical. Great job creating a little bit of space. Not only do you get the first down, you chew up a bunch more yards, too. Nice execution by this offense.
Second and very short here for the offense. Here's the handoff. Brought down, but looks as if LSU will pick up the first down.
Well, they needed 2 yards for that first down. The running back doing just enough to make sure he keeps this drive alive.
Just inside the 35, first and 10 from the 34. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. Quick step and go. And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end.
This offense has a lot of different ways they can attack you, and you're going to see the entire playbook at work in this game. Throwing it, running it, and getting guys the ball out on the perimeter. Great job.
He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. These fans raising the volume on second and goal. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. They've extended this lead, guys, but sometimes in a rivalry game, you get down and you fight back that much harder.
Man, you've seen crazy comebacks and crazy swings of momentum in rivalry games. You just need that first thing to break your way, Palmer.
And I think it really comes down to their key playmakers, David. They can come back, but these guys need to take ownership. Now's the time. In this type of game, they have got to step up and start making plays.
That might be overdoing it, keeping it away from the return man as the kickoff goes out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
Don't know if the defense will appreciate having to defend a short field from the start after that penalty. A first down for the offense. The give out of the gun. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Stuck with a running game on first down. Now here they come again. Right back to him on the ground. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Third down, and this offense is already in a world of trouble. They could really use a conversion, not to mention multiple scores. To the air, it's Maddox. Coming after him. Under heavy pressure, lets it fly. And a big play on the left sideline. Excellent awareness to get that foot in bounds. And the Rebels will have it first and 10. Corners showing press. They want to be physical here. From the gun, the ground game. They knock him down after a pickup of 4. Ball is at the 9-yard line. Operating in the red zone here on second down. From the gun, the running back looking for room. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels.
And now a big third down coming up. Down multiple possessions. This is one, Palmer, I'm looking for 6. I'm not trying to kick a field goal. I want to cut into this lead with a touchdown.
No, you got to have it. And also, considering all that, this is 4-down territory, too. So you need to identify who are your best players on offense and how can you give them a chance to score this touchdown.
It's wise not to be too greedy, and they'll go ahead and send out the field goal unit. And this one ought to be nice and easy, a 22-yard attempt. He splits the uprights and puts 3 on the board. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great college football matchup. USF fell behind early, and it's been an uphill climb since. Thing is, this is a program that's worked the portal about as well as anyone. These kids are tough and could just find a way. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Tulsa. We promise to keep you posted on what goes down in this exciting college football matchup.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. He'll move it up to the 37-yard line, and it'll be a first down. This is the kind of performance, guys, that sort of etches your name in the lore of a rivalry.
And playing big in this big moment, on this big stage, it is so nice to have a playmaker like that you can highlight, that you can focus on, that you can trust in.
He was so excited coming into this game, too, because he knows that oftentimes your legacy as a player is defined by how you play in rivalry games like this.
They go to the ground. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7.
Small game, I know, but again, the defense knows he's going to run the football. He's willing to run the football, not just drop back and pass, make him honor the run game. You got to do a lot of this.
And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-game land.
And that's just an example of the defense having a better play call than you have on offense. I like the creativity offensively, but how about the defense having their cornerback in position to make the play?
Trucks through the defender. He's piled up 87 yards on the ground, and he has his eyes fixed on leading the nation in rushing.
I love when players understand situations and they understand where the first down marker is and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making big plays. Sometimes it's about getting that first down to make sure I get an extra set of downs instead of trying to make those big touchdown runs.
Guys, LSU has the lead here. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. One quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic fourth-quarter finish. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. They'll try the run. Open space at the 25. And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep running the football. Everything is going according to plan right now. They've been able to stay on the field. They put some nice plays together back to back to back, and they're bleeding the clock. This is exactly what you practice for situations like this. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. They'll keep it on the ground, right up the gut, looking for 6. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line. Trying to get it done with the run here on 3rd and goal. Several defenders get an assist on that tackle. The offense trying to find a way on 4th and goal from the 2. Pushes ahead. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Tiger. They tack on another score, and how about the way this team has responded to a loss and now about to move to 9-1. And now with the extra point, they're up by 18 here in the 4th.
Have yourself a day, young fella. You know why they handed him the ball a lot? Because he did that. That's his 4th trip to pay dirt. This dude has shown you a little bit of everything. What a great back. And 4 touchdowns on the day.
And the return man has no place to run, no place to hide, and a place to be tackled. Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. They had to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse. They'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down.
He's got it down the left side. Running toward the tape. Almost took it all the way, but a huge gain, and he has him set up first and goal. This offensive scoring position with a fresh set of downs. A first down run on the doorstep. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. To the air. It's Maddox. And he's got it. Touchdown, Ole Miss.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. That running game was impressive, taking them right down for a touchdown last time, David.
Yeah, just mauling. No secret play calls, just simply we are more physical than you, and we're pounding the football right at you.
So if you're on offense this next drive, take a look at their safeties and see if they're creeping up into the box. Because of your success running the football, this might be time to take a shot down the field and play action.
They'll run the screen. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he got nothing. He got no gain. Great job by the defense understanding the situation, understanding, they're not trying to block me. They're trying to make me run upfield. No, sir. Good job being smart, gap sound, not letting the screen beat him. Nowhere to go.
This will be picked off, maybe just the turning point they needed. Couldn't find much breathing room to return it, but the interception has this offense in business at the 27.
All right, sense of urgency now has to go through the roof for this team. They needed their defense to come up with that turnover right there. So if you're on offense, you got to get these plays called. You got to get aggressive, take some shot.
And the pass hits, picked off. Looking for more room. That can be a momentum changer after the interception. Runs it back to the 37.
Man, this defense did a perfect job understanding the situation. You know you got the lead. You know they're going to be passing. And you come after the quarterback, get the big hit. You get pressure on the quarterback, good things happen, and they make the big INT.
Moving the running back, forcing the defense to adjust. Across the 25. And there they go again. Another huge gain on the ground.
How many ways can I get into my guys who can fly, who are playmakers, and let them make big plays? This is another one you've seen. Catch the football, flip it ahead really quickly, get it.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Tigers. That one pushes this lead out a little bit more here in the fourth, and now they can smell 8 straight wins.
Well, I think the coaching staff and fans knew that this guy was going to play a big role in this offense this year, but I don't know if anyone expected him to have this kind of season statistically, guys. That's his 20th rushing touchdown on the season.
He'll bring it out. It's Winston. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
Back to pass, it's Maddox. He's right on target. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. The Rebels want to crank the tempo.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
They keep attacking through the air. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to fight another play.
This defense has just been all over this guy all game long. Under pressure, they're finding a way to get to him and affect his rhythm. Of course, they have an interception in this game. That's why they've got a big lead here in the fourth quarter. This guy has never gotten into a rhythm.
On second down, he'll let it fly. Skips away from pressure. At the 20, he's got space.
Man, that's so frustrating. It happens so fast. He just pulls it down. It looks like pass. He pulls it down, and he's gone. Just like that, chewing up yards. So much speed, so hard to stop.
Going up top on first down. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes, too. He is a versatile back.
They're bringing heat. And he'll chuck it into the cheap seats there and save the down. Nobody getting open there.
At this point in the game in the fourth quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
It's complete on the right side. Clock is still running, and they have to get everybody lined up.
And that's a really good example of the quarterback and his intended target both being on the same page. The timing was almost perfect on that play. That's why they were able to convert the third down, now setting up first and goal.
He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling. Now on second and goal. Looking downfield, it's Maddox. He caught it. Takes it to the house. Touchdown, Rebels.
Nice job by the offense going down the field, putting points on the board, but you're still down a couple possessions. Still need some good things to happen. You need your kicker to go over and get warmed up. We need an onside. We need to score some points. We need a lot of things to go right to win this football game.
Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. They're definitely up against it. Time running out, down 2 possessions. They'll try the onside kick. Looks as if the hands team will be able to recover the ball. Keeps the legs moving. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Now they need to put something together to answer that last score.
There's a lot of pressure, too, on this offense to have to execute at a high level. They've got to score points, David, but they can't go too fast because their defense right now is tired.
And I think that's the difficulty being a player. Like, I have to balance all of those things. My defense is a little bit tired. I can't get on the field, but I got to be aggressive because this is a back-and-forth type game, so a lot to process and think about.
Try to get the edge with a quick touch pass. Oh, he gave him the dead leg. Ripping through the defense and getting it all the way down to the 24-yard line. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Line gets set, first down. Leaves it with the running back. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. They'll be perfectly content to go right back to the ground here on 2nd and 8. Trying to impose their will with the run. Boy, he's over 100 now at 102 yards on the ground, and that's just another routine day for this guy who's been among the nation's leaders in rushing all season long. The Tigers pick up the first down.
And obviously, this is one of the best offenses in the country, and it's because they get first downs. Top 10 in the nation picking up first downs. How nice is it to know you can turn around, hand it off to that guy right there, and let him go to work.
Got enough space. He's run out of bounds after the big gain, and they are in business. 1st and goal. Timeout called by the offense. 29 seconds left on the clock.
Timeout, LSU.
And while the game is all but decided, why not try to get another one if you can? That's part of the fun, right? Barrels ahead. Touchdown, LSU! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Number 1.
They tack on another score, and how about the way this team has responded to a loss and now about to move to 9-1.
And you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day, and the stats just continue to pile up.
42, Ole Miss 24.
He'll bring it out. It's Winston. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. This has been a really disappointing performance, David. No question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build off, David, that you're talking about.
Now on 3rd and 10, if they can move the chains here, maybe they can get this drive started. Couldn't find a man and just had to throw it away to avoid a negative play.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the 4th quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
Now they've got a little room to work with. They're out to the 28 with a first down. You know what's great about rivalry games? Each side hates every wretched breath the other one sucks into their greedy lungs. Figuratively speaking, of course, and when you win, oh, is that sweet.
It's glorious. To be able to brag, to be able to text message your buddies, to be able to post stuff on social media, it's a lot of fun. I think fans like it more than anybody, but it's something that every year you have a couple games starred. This was one of them, Jesse. They took care of business, and now you move on to the next.
They really did, and we saw some great individual efforts in this game by the winning team, too. So cool to see some of these players that have had terrific collegiate careers make some of the biggest plays of their lives in this game, in a rivalry game that just means so much. This was a fun one to call.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast.